We have Jessica Andrade versus Mackenzie Dern. This is going to be another fun women's MMA fight right here. Jessica Andrade, she's 24-12, 2-3 in her last five. I mean, she's coming off of a three kind of not the greatest losses. I mean, she's been finishing her last three losses. Uh, just got guillotine choked by Tatiana Suarez. She is going to be fighting against Mackenzie Dern, 13-3. She is 3-2 in her last five, coming off of that decisive decision victory over Angela Hill. Mackenzie Dern's going to be obviously the taller fighter here, 3-inch height advantage and slight reach advantage here for 1 inch. Um, Odds for this fight are, I think, pretty interesting as well. She is Mackenzie Dern opened up at a minus 200 and has kind of just stayed there. She did get bet up to a, minus 245 at one point, but now she's a minus 191. So uh, kind of a yo-yo action, kind of line movement, if you will. Uh, Alex, yeah, I'll let you kind of break down this fight first, and I'll share my thoughts later. What do you think about Andrade versus the Dern here?
So I did look at the odds for this fight this morning, and I think I saw them at minus 177.
Hmm.
And I personally think that this current line, like even at what is it, 1-9, I think it's pretty disrespectful to Mackenzie Dern.
Hmm.
Um, I think I literally think her only win condition is a knockout.
Hmm.
And I don't see that happening here. Especially because Dern has never been knocked out in her entire career, so like that's number one. Um, Dern is ultra durable. She's going to be looking to close distance, get in the clinch, which will once you kind of break that kind of range, then you negate a lot of Andrade's power. Um, so the only KO opportunity is when Dern kind of moves in to close the distance, and if Andrade can get a lucky hit at that in that like exact moment. Um, so last fight, Tatiana Suarez was able to wrestle Andrade to the ground and get her down there with relative ease. Um, and I know Suarez is a beast. So like it's not always kind of one to one, but I think Dern is like also very good at wrestling as well. Um, so I think Dern will be able to get Andrade to the ground. And then add on to that, Andrade, like you mentioned, is on a three-fight losing streak, and she got finished in all three. And she's fought a total of four times in 2023.
Oof.
So you know, already it kind of looks like that, she's just trying to collect some paychecks, really, fighting that many times. Um, and then, finally, my last point is like, if you do like some MMA math, Andrade lost to Yan Xiaonan via TKO, while Dern lost to Yan Xiaonan via decision. So, decision better than getting knocked out. So, yeah, give me Mackenzie Dern here all day, every day. I think luck for sure for me.
Ooh, nice. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on Jessica Andrade. I mean, I've been following her career for the last few years. She's a physically imposing power fighter, even though she has a small frame. She's been moving between 125, 115 weight classes. Definition of a pit bull bully. I don't think her hands are the best, but she throws a lot of looping shots that if they do catch you clean, they can kill you for sure. She does have like just has like natural power. Now, if she can't bull you, I don't think she has like much like in terms of striking or grappling. I mean, she's not the most technical striker. Her grappling's just okay, but she just really relies on her strength to carry her through her fights. Uh, Dern, she does have world class jujitsu skills, great credentials, takedown. I think that her takedowns and her wrestling, while in early on in her career weren't the greatest, I think in the last few fights, as you've seen, I mean, she's been getting takedowns, right? So it is something that she's improving on. I do like that she's been training with Henry Cejudo at Fight Ready, and I think that's something that's really improving her wrestling. I mean, you saw what happened when Zhang Wei Li trained with Henry Cejudo, right? She turned into just a beast that can wrestle and strike at the same time. So really good to go with a guy like Henry Cejudo's Triple C. He's one of the best coaches out there. Uh, Dern's going to keep on moving forward no matter what to get the fight to the ground. So that's something that I really like. She always commits to her game plan to try to get to the fight to the ground. And the reason why she does that is because I kid you not, this girl has some of the best jujitsu I've seen, men or women. I mean, she is extremely dangerous on the ground. She will climb your back and choke you out. She'll go for the crazy arm bars. I mean, she has it all in terms of jujitsu. I think her dad was like one of the greatest jujitsu practitioners like ever. So she just has a really extremely credentialed in jujitsu. Her striking's improving in her last few fights. I mean, what's really stood out to me in the last fight against Angela Hill was that she finally showed some power in those hands. Like she was just beating on Angela Hill, right? And I'm surprised that Angela Hill even survived that fight, honestly. That if that wasn't Angela Hill, I think anybody else probably would have got KO'd, honestly. Because Angela Hill is crazy durable, never been KO'd, and Mackenzie Dern was trying to get her out of there. And Angela Hill just took a beating for all 5 rounds. And that's something that was really interesting too, because you saw that Dern's power and her striking, well, pretty much everything carried on for 25 minutes. So I think she has pretty good cardio there as well. Um, I also think that Dern is a lock, and reason why is this is something that will be one of my kind of core tenets of betting is that I'm always going to look to fade fighters rather than ride them if given the opportunity, right? You want to try to find a fighter that you can fade because I think that's where you can kind of make the most money. I've been doing this with Jessica Andrade personally. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out about her about, getting a new contract, and she's been in a kind of bad financial situation, if you will. So that's why she's kind of been taking a lot of these fights, right? And I think that these fights have just not, these have not been good matchups. I mean, she's just taking fights just to kind of get checks at this point. Um, she's been getting finished. I mean, I really think that her career is going towards the kind of tail end. And it's similar to like a guy like Donald Cerrone, right? They have this kind of brand name and they're just using the UFC is just kind of using this brand name to kind of prop other people up that they want to push forward. Like for example, pushing up a Tatiana Suarez who's coming back from a lengthy layoff, got a good dub there. Zhao Yan, right? I mean, they really want to push the China market, so they put her against Yan. And then Erin Blanchfield, obviously, that's something that they want to push as well. She got rear naked choke. So I honestly see another loss here is probably going to be by sub. I could also see decision if she survives, but I'm going Dern by sub. And yeah, I'm probably going to put this in my parlays too. I agree with you.